What up, PB Cashewville? It's your boy Cashew, and today we are going to be talking about the New York Knicks. Yes, the New York Knicks. But before we do that, right here is going to be our Instagram and TikTok. Follow and leave a like on YouTube. Hit it. What up, PB Cashewville? It's your boy Cashew, and today we're doing a solo again. And sorry about the lighting. If the lighting is kind of different or if it's too bright, I am still trying to figure this stuff out by myself. I'm in my house, so it's a little bit. I don't know how to explain it. It's just hard for me to find out which is a good way to record. If I should record in my room or if I should record in my kitchen. So I'm still trying to debate on that type of things. So sorry for the lighting. Sorry if I look like a ghost. I look really pale. I apologize for that. But today we are going to be talking about the Knicks. But before we do that, I do gotta say, I'm very excited for February 3rd because February 3rd, I am actually going to a Knicks game. Me, PB, and my uncle were going to a Knicks game on February 3rd. It's gonna be awesome. We're gonna have pictures. I'm definitely gonna have pictures and videos, and I will show you how it was. Like I said, I'm very excited. And crazy thing is, we are talking about the Knicks today, which is cool. I love talking about basketball. I love talking about the Knicks. So I'm very excited to talk about the Knicks. And I can't wait. So there's a couple things I would like to talk about and give my opinions on a couple things. It's been a up and down so far for the Knicks, a lot of emotions. So last week when I was talking about my top favorite spots to on vacation, before that I was talking about Immanuel Quickley and RJ Barrett. Well, the Knicks did trade them. It's been 2 weeks, and I wanted to put my little input on it. I want to give you my little thoughts on everything and how I feel about it. And the way I feel right now is I'm happy for both sides. You look at this trade, and it's a win-win trade. It like I said, it does suck that we lost RJ and Quickly. I loved RJ and I love Quickly, and they were like one of my favorites. Knicks. I'm always gonna root for them. I'm hoping they're doing. I hope they do well in Toronto, which they have been doing good in Toronto, which I'm happy for. And it's a win-win situation for a lot of people. It's a win-win situation for the guy we traded for OG Anunoby. He fits perfect for. As I keep looking and watching, he fits perfect. He's a perfect fit in the system. He's a great guy. He's a great defender. And he hustles. He does that. And it wasn't like Emmanuel Quickly or RJ Barrett weren't like those guys because they were. It was just that RJ didn't. I guess you can say RJ couldn't fit well because the coach didn't know how to use him right. And Emmanuel Quickly, who actually did fit perfect in our system, but it was just that he wasn't getting minutes in. Like I said, it's sad to see them go, but they are thriving. I'm glad that they're doing good in Toronto. Quickly's been playing phenomenal ever since he's been starting as in Toronto. And RJ Barry had a 37 game not that long ago. Last game he had, he wasn't good, but that happens. Players play good, players play bad. But I'm happy for them because, like I said, they're getting to have a new opportunity in a different team. Well, like I said, and the Knicks have OG Anunoby, who he was from Toronto, and like he's the same situation. He's in a new team where he can show if he could show his defense and he can show that he has offense, which is really, like I said, it's a win-win for both teams. But at the same time, there's one thing I want to say is like ever since the trade, by the way, so the trade was we traded Emmanuel Quickly and RJ Barrett, and I think a second round pick or two second round picks. I can't remember if it was one round second round pick or two for OG Anunoby, Precious Achua, and Malachi Flynn. Now Malachi Flynn, he hasn't really been getting play time like that. He gets basically uh garbage time. That's what they call it when it's like 2 minutes left into the game. He gets garbage time. And Precious Achua, he has been getting minutes, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel about having Precious Achua. I don't know if the Knicks are gonna actually try to trade him or if they're gonna try to keep him for now because Mitchell Robinson's gone. But the way I've been seeing how he's been playing, it seemed like he's lost. He's like he doesn't know where he's at. Hopefully, he figures out the system soon, because then maybe he can start. Once he figures out the system, maybe he can start playing a lot better. But like I said, it's kind of weird because he's like right now he's not playing too good. He played good one game, and that was on Thursday, which a game we lost. But and like I said, it's kind of weird with Precious Achua because I don't know how I feel about him. But when they talk about OG, so the Knicks, since they traded OG Anunoby, they're 5-1, which is a good. That 5 wins, 1 loss. They lost on Thursday. It was a bad. It was. I'll be honest with you, it was a bad loss. But you know what? They fought back, which is a good thing to me. As long as my team fights back, then I'm fine. And like I said, it's a win-win situation. It's another win-win situation for a couple other people in the Knicks group, in the Knicks team. Miles McBride, Deuce has been stepping up a lot, showing that he can be a backup to Jalen Brunson, which is pretty cool. I'm like very excited for that. I've been telling my friends multiple times that Deuce McBride, if he gives him minutes, if he gets playing time, he can play. He can be a good offensive player, and he's a great defender. And he's been showing that he got some offense games, so I'm proud about that. Another player that gets a lot of opportunities is Quentin Grimes, who's been using that opportunity to showcase of what he can do as well, which is great. He's a great. I know that he was a starter at first, but then decided to put him in the bench because he was struggling. But what he can do is he's a great 3-point shooter. He's a great defender. Like when I mean a great defender, he can defend. He could defend. I think he could defend 1 through 3. So that's basically point guards, shooting guards, and small forwards. Like he could defend. Like he before we got OG Anunoby, he used to be the one that defended the best player in the other team. Now OG's going to take that responsibility. But Grimes is great. I love Grimes, and I hope he can succeed in the Knicks. And hopefully, I don't know what's going to go on with the Knicks. Apparently, they want to try and make more trades and have So hopefully, maybe we won't. Maybe McBride and Grimes will be fine, and we can see them grow. And I would love to see. I would love to see McBride grow into a point guard, into a reliable backup point guard for Jalen Brunson, so Jalen Brunson could get more time to rest. But like I said, I wanted to give my opinion, like my thoughts on how I feel about the trade, and I think, like I said, it's a good trade. It's a win-win, and I think the Knicks have been playing a lot better defensively, and I feel like the chemistry is growing, and it's great. Now, here's another thing I want to talk about too, and that's Emmanuel Quickly. Not that long ago, in a player tribute, said his goodbyes, and it was emotional, because he was basically talking about how he thanks the organization, he thanks the fans, and how he loved being loved being in the Knicks. He wasn't expecting to get traded. It came out of left field, and it's, like I said, one thing about Emmanuel Quickly and RJ Barrett, is that they both were professional. RJ Barrett was very professional. He never talked bad about his coach. He never talked bad about the Knicks organization. Even to this day, like a lot of Knicks fans got upset because he said, like, he said I helped them build something, which he's not lying. He's being honest. When they asked him about it, he was being honest. He did help build something for the Knicks. Him and Julius Randle, and Manuel Quigley was another one too that helped build something. So I'm not mad about that, because that statement is not lying. He's not lying about it. It's true. He's been there for almost 4.5 years, almost 5 years with the Knicks, and during his run, he had 2 playoffs appearance with the Knicks. Uh, his first playoff appearance was in 2021, and he didn't do too good because it was his first playoff experience. So I understand. And then his second run was in last year, and he did phenomenal. He played well. He outperformed Donovan Mitchell, which a lot of people said Donovan Mitchell is a great player. So and Donovan Mitchell is a great player. Like when I mean he is a great player, like Donovan Mitchell can averages 27 points per game, and sometimes in the playoffs he averages around 28, 29. And RJ Barrett did outperform him in defense and shooting wise, which was great. And we saw a step up, of RJ's game. And one thing I think about Emmanuel Quickly and RJ going to the Toronto Raptors is that they can find their game again to another level. And I honestly gonna say is I really believe that both of them can be all-star players. I believe I believe Immanuel Quickly is very talented. Saw that with the Knicks a lot, and I'm wishing them luck. I'm wishing them the best. I'm always gonna root for them, no matter. Most of the time, I root for Nick Knicks players, no matter what. Same thing with Kristaps Porzingis. When they trade Kristaps Porzingis in 2018, now he's with the Celtics. I still root for Kristaps Porzingis because he was a Knicks. He helped us out a lot too. So I still root for players. Another guy I root for too that's still in the league that we haven't had for like what I think like 2-3 years is Kevin Knox. And I just recently saw a video that he's been playing pretty well with the Detroit Pistons. They're a bad team, but I think the last game he had like 19 points. So I just love seeing players that used to play for the Knicks or that the Knicks drafted. I love to see them grow. Obi Toppin is another one that we traded, and I'm seeing him grow in the Indiana Pacers, and I root for those guys still, because they were part of the Knicks, and I grew up with them, and I love them, and I hope for the best for those guys, hope that they do good in their other teams. Now let's talk about more about the OG trade. I think it was a good trade. At first, I'll be honest with you, I wasn't happy with the trade. I was like, that was a dumb trade. Why would they do that? But there's always that thing where Leon Rose, for some reason, Leon Rose loves to do these like trades before the trade deadline or at the trade deadline. That always works. Like it's kind of weird to explain. Like he'll be like, people be like, oh, the Knicks need to do this, and he'll do one thing, and next, the Knicks are like playing pretty well. And it happened like not only that, it happened in 2021. It was like 2021. They acquired Derrick Rose, and then the Knicks got into like a 22 win streak. They won 22 games and lost like 4 or 5 or something like that with Derrick Rose. Then they did that in it was 2022 with Cam Reddish, and next thing you know, they started playing a lot better, and you know they started winning games. And then in 2023, they did that with Josh Hart, and they went on a little 9-0, literally 9-0 win streak when Josh Hart became a Knicks. With OG Anunoby, they went five. They went five. They went 5-0, but then they lost. Yeah, they lost on Thursday. So now they're not. Now they're undefeated. They were undefeated, but now they lost. They played today against the Grizzlies, so hopefully we take that dub. And the last thing I want to talk about is the All Star. Or actually, you know what? No, what? This is what I want to talk about. Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson. One thing I cannot stand, and this is me being honest, I cannot stand when a when the media talks about how the Knicks don't have a star player. They don't have a option 1A guy or option 1B guy, or they don't have a star player. And I get so annoyed because I'm like, the disrespect you give to Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson, it makes no sense. It really does not. Now I'm gonna go a little bit into this. So Julius Randle is a two-time All NBA player and a two-time All Star. If he keeps up how he's playing right now, I believe he can be a three-time All Star and possibly a three-time All NBA player, depending on if he keeps playing well. Jalen Brunson has not been an All Star and has not been an All NBA type player. But the way he's playing this year and like he was playing last year he should have been an All Star and he should have been an All NBA. But now this year, I believe he's going to be an All Star, and I believe that if he keeps playing the way he's playing, he could be an All NBA player. And I look into it like people are like, oh well, what about Jalen Brunson versus Donovan Mitchell? Well, twice in the playoffs, and when Jalen Brunson was with the Dallas Mavericks, I think it was in 2022/2023 season. It's weird, but he literally like outperformed Donovan Mitchell. Then last year in the playoffs when he was with the Knicks, he outperformed Donovan Mitchell. So me personally, it's like, how are you gonna put Donovan Mitchell over Jalen Brunson when every time when Jalen Brunson and Donovan Mitchell play each other, he's always outperforming him. Now, Julius Randle, I get it. A lot of people, and a lot of people's like, oh, well, Julius Randle played well in the playoffs, and people are like, oh, he's bad in the playoffs. And you know what? I really do hope that the Knicks make it to a playoff this year, and Julius Randle just plays like how he plays phenomenal, so he could shut the haters up. I wish people would understand this. Julius Randle, his first year in the playoffs, he had a team with Alfred Payton, Reggie Bullock, um, who else was there? R.J. Barrett, Derrick Rose, and I'm not saying those guys were bad. I'm saying like they're not like if you look at the Knicks now or last year to the year that Random made it in 2021, you'll be like, oh yeah, the 2023 Knicks will definitely beat the 2021 Knicks. And at that time, Brando, it was his first playoff appearance. The Atlanta Hawks decided to triple team him, and so it's there. Julius Randle never had that experience before. That was his first time seeing that, and so during that time, he was not playing too well. And a lot of people goes, "Oh well, what about Derrick Rose?" Well, Derrick Rose, I love Derrick Rose, but no one they weren't focusing really on Derrick Rose. So Derrick Rose could have done whatever he wanted in the offense. If you want to be honest with you, they weren't really playing that much defense on him. They were playing defense more on Julius Randle and making sure that if someone could beat them, it could be between R.J. Barrett or Derrick Rose, whoever. And then in 2023, the last year playoffs, I'm gonna say it. Julius Randle was hurt, and you can tell that he was hurt. So I honestly believe that if the Knicks make it this year, if Julius Randle is fully healthy, with the fully healthy Jalen Brunson, and if if this is the same team that we have with Quentin Grimes, Deuce McBride, OG Anunoby, if we don't make any more trades, I'm gonna say it, the Knicks are gonna be a threat in in the East. They're gonna be a threat, and I honestly do believe that Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle are going to be All Star players this year. And if Julius Randle ain't an All Star player, it will kind of suck. But at the end of the day, it's like he's been two times, so he doesn't have to prove. To me, I don't think he has to really prove if he's a star player because I really do believe he is a star player, just like how I believe Jalen Brunson's a star player. And look at their numbers. Julius Randle's averaging 24.4 points per game. Jalen Brunson's averaging 26 point or 25.8 points per game or something like that. A lot of people let's talk about it. Like there's people like Tyrese Max who's averaging around 26 points per game, and he's getting considered a star player. And it's just like if he's getting considered a star player and he hasn't, in my opinion, hasn't done that much, why isn't Brunson or Randall not being called a star player? That's just how I see it. This is my little opinion about the Knicks and what I think about them. Love my team. Hopefully get the dub today. And I love talking about the Knicks. I love talking about basketball. And before I do go, like I said, I'm excited to go on February 3rd. It's gonna be the Knicks versus the Lakers. It's gonna be a good game, and I'm gonna take pictures. I'm going to try to see if I could get a picture with one of our Knicks guys. Not 100% sure. We'll see about that. Now, before I go, I do want to say one thing. I'm trying to remember what it was. Oh, so PB is taking a little break, but I was gonna say that I'm going to try to see if February 3rd we can do a episode for PB and Cashew, and do PB and Cashew on the street. Hopefully PB's okay with that, just to be there. I know probably some of you guys do miss PB, and like I said, he'll be back. He's not gone. He'll be back. But like I said, I'm gonna try to see if I can do an episode with PB that day when we're at New York. We will see what will happen. But like we always say before we close out, we don't know you, but we love you, and there's a God above that does. I'm Cashew. Peace out, PB Cashewville.